I remember the first Hanukkah dinner I was ever invited to. I think I was in 4th grade. It was our neighbors right down the street. And it was wonderful, a little intimidating. There were a large family, lots of kids, lots of noise. I didn't understand quite what was going on, but that Hanukkah story stayed with me. So as we celebrate with our kin and honor our kin who are honoring Hanukkah, that one small light, the Hanukkah story, pushing back the early winter darkness. It's a night that invites us to remember that hope is sometimes fragile, sometimes fierce, and always in need of tending. Right? They had enough oil for just a little bit, and the miracle is that the oil lasted for 8 days. So as we are journeying through this month together, the spiritual practice of, what's our spiritual practice theme this month? Choosing hope. Not just hope, but choosing hope. Do you feel that one? Here we gather to reflect on how we can nourish that inner flame through our choices, through our care, our commitments to a more just and loving world. When we gather and we are here to ask that question with great humility. What does it mean to inherit hope, to protect it, and share its warmth so it continues far beyond us? Perhaps you've heard me say before, how do we practice being a good ancestor in our time today? And there's a quote from Ross Stafford that has echoed in my heart and my spirit as I was thinking through this morning's service and reflecting this week. He writes, "All you have to do is keep the fire of hope burning for just a little while. Stoke it with your life. Don't allow it to go out and pass it on. You have no right to put it out." You have no right to put it out. That is both a comfort and a charge, yes? Hope in this bold imagining is not something we invent out of thin air. It is something that we have received from our ancestors. For those who have gone before us, Kent shared being here for 46 years. This congregation is celebrating its 70th anniversary, which started with 6 couples that had an idea of starting a spiritual community, and look what has grown. So hope is something that we receive, a blessing passed down through generations of people who tended to it in their own time. And hope is something that we are entrusted with, not for ourselves alone, but for those who will come after us. So Hanukkah is, at its heart, a story about people who refused to let the fire of hope go out. The Maccabees did not know that oil for one day would last 8. They only knew that this sacred light must be kindled and that their identity and their values demanded it. Does that sound familiar? They lit what they had. They trusted that blessing might emerge from scarcity. They acted in faith, not out of the full force of confidence. And isn't that what really choosing hope is all about? Hope is not optimism. Optimism is based on the likelihood of success. Choosing hope is that stubborn, sometimes trembling conviction that the sacred work of love and justice matters even when the odds look bleak. Choosing hope is what says, light the lamp anyway. And I'll share that our Unitarian Universalist heritage, and especially our Universalist theology, offers a compelling lens and a powerful reminder. A theological grounding of our faith. Our Universalist forebears, our ancestors, believed something profoundly bold, that we are called to be the hand and work of God's love in the world. That's not empty. Thank you, Ken. I know that was Ken. Where are you? It's that divine love, whatever name you use for it, that moves through us, relies on us, becomes real through our actions. And I was speaking, I think it was Jane this morning, as we were talking through this idea. Okay, so if you're a religious or spiritual humanist, if you're a pagan, there are many names for the divine. The divine can be the eternal mystery, the eternal beloved, the highest good in the world, which is one that I love. The goddess, our sacred interdependence. All of that relies on us. The Universalists taught that salvation was not about individual escape, but about collective liberation. And they believed and they practiced that every act of compassion, every movement towards justice, every time we show up for someone who is alone or afraid, this is the holy work that we are called and meant to do. In that sense, keeping the fire of hope alive is not simply emotional perseverance, but I know it feels that way. Keeping hope alive, choosing hope again and again is a theological task. It is participating in the great ongoing work of love that Universalists understood as the very heartbeat of the universe. So going back to Stafford's charge to us, all you have to do is keep the fire of hope burning for a little while, stoke it with your life, don't allow it to go out, pass it on. You have no right to put it out. Beloveds, if we are the very embodiment of the work of the divine in the world, if we embrace the call and challenge to love, you know what I'm going to say, to love the hell out of this world by creating heaven or hell on earth here based on our choices and actions, then we have no right to put out the fire. We have no right to let that fire of hope go out. And if we let that fire of hope go out even within us, if we choose not to practice love, compassion, and service in our daily lives, then we are in essence turning away from our innate sacred embodiment, our calling as people of covenant, our calling as people of faith and conscience, and our calling to be a people of true sanctuary. Beloveds, we are the ones who choose to carry the flame. We are the ones who protect it from the wind and weariness. And we are the ones who pass it on, cupped in our hands, to the next generation. Many of us arrived here through our doors, both physical and metaphorical and virtual, into this shared beloved community, tired. We are so tired from the world's violence, tired from the news, tired from caring so intensely about so much, tired from our hearts breaking for the suffering of so many in our country, in our world. I get it. I really do get it. And I feel it, and I think we all feel it. So that is the calling of being a spiritual people in beloved community. When you are weary, find places that nourish your spirit and lamp that light anyway. We don't each need all the oil. You only need to strike that match or keep that flame warm in our hearts so we together can keep the fire burning for just a little while longer. For all of our vulnerable, marginalized beloved, all of those who are hurting and afraid right now, keep it burning a little bit while longer, long enough for someone else to see it, someone else to feel it, to be strengthened by its glow. Long enough to remember that your life, your commitments, your courage and witness, our lives, our commitments, our courage and witness are part of a much larger and much more ancient story. Each flame we kindle is ancient, and each flame we kindle is utterly new, because we are called in this day and time to light it and hold it. So, beloveds, may this day be a day of reclaiming hope, of choosing hope. Do you feel that with me? Just a little? I'm not seeing anything. I can't hold it all by myself. These shoulders are broad, but I ain't that strong. Come on now. All right. Thank you. This is a day of reclaiming hope, of choosing hope, of tending to that small wick within us, and trusting that the light that we share matters. So may we stoke that flame with our living, with our loving, with our service, and our courage. Refuse to let it go out. And I humbly ask you to offer its warmth to a world that desperately needs it. Amen. Blessed be, and may the light continue to grow.